Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise, synthesize the best research out there, and really give you the knowledge you need fast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something really personal for millions, and often just debilitating: neuropathy. And specifically the, frankly, revolutionary new treatments that are emerging right now. If you're one of the many people listening who deals with this every single day, well, you know the struggle, that constant, inescapable burning. Maybe it's that maddening numbness or those awful sudden electric shock feelings that just ruin your sleep and make it hard to get around. And for way too long, the message from doctors was often kind of resigned, wasn't it?
It really was. More like,
Stay-
take this pill, try to manage the symptom.
Then lower your expectations.
Yeah.
We want to just validate that frustration right up front.
Absolutely, because those traditional first-line treatments, they often just didn't provide real relief.
Or they came with side effects that were so awful, the cure felt almost as bad as the condition itself.
That's a common feeling.
So, our mission today is simple. Cut through that old, tired narrative and introduce you to some real new hope. We're going to show you exactly how researchers are shifting their focus. I mean, really shifting.
Fundamental change.
Moving away from just masking the pain toward actually helping nerves repair and restore proper function.
And that shift, it's truly monumental. It's really driven by the widespread failure of those traditional treatments you just mentioned. Things like gabapentin or Lyrica. They were designed to manage symptoms, sure, but by sort of globally dampening down the nervous system.
Kind of a sledgehammer approach.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And what's so critical for you, the listener, to understand is the painful trade-off those drugs often demanded. While maybe they dulled the pain a bit, they often brought on what patients describe as that foggy, disconnected feeling.
Yeah.
That awful cognitive haze.
Oh, yes. The cognitive haze, that really validates what so many people have told us they experienced.
Exactly. You're essentially forced into this terrible choice. Live with the physical agony or walk around feeling mentally sluggish, just out of it.
And the data backs this up, doesn't it? Fewer than 40% of patients actually find decent long-term relief from those older drugs.
That's right, fewer than 40%. So you've got this huge 60% plus failure rate. That defines the treatment gap. And that gap is precisely what drove the scientific push for something better, for real innovation.
Okay.
So the most promising new treatments we're looking at today, they are fundamentally different. The goal now is to protect the nerve function you still have, maybe promote actual nerve repair, or restore normal pain-free signaling pathways.
So we're moving from just managing the discomfort
to genuine biological treatment, fixing the underlying problem.
Okay, let's unpack this shift. Let's start with section 1, regenerative hope. This feels like the most exciting bit, right? Getting the body's own construction crew to rebuild damaged nerves.
That's a great analogy. Regenerative medicine is essentially about harnessing and sort of boosting your body's natural ability to heal damaged nerves.
Right. Let's start with stem cell therapy. It always sounds so futuristic, but it's getting more real. Am I getting this right? It uses cells that act like tiny supervisors on the job site.
It's a good way to think about it. Yeah, this therapy uses either your own stem cells or sometimes very effective donor cells. When they're injected near the damaged area, these cells become like little signaling factories. Their most important job isn't just replacing damaged cells themselves, but it's releasing huge amounts of growth factors.
And growth factors are like the chemical instructions, the blueprints.
Precisely. Think of them as the blueprints and the order materials list all in one. They send out these powerful signals telling nearby nerves, hey, start repairing, reduce that inflammation, and survive.
Wow, okay.
And the early results, they're really compelling. We're seeing significant improvements in both pain levels and physical function in some studies.
It sounds almost miraculous. But we have to be realistic, right? Injecting cells near nerves sounds, well, complex and probably expensive.
It does. The procedure itself is actually minimally invasive, usually done with just local anesthesia. But yes, there's a recovery period. You're not running a marathon the next day.
Okay.
But the bigger challenge, as you said, is access and cost. Stem cell treatments, they often run between, say, $5,000 and maybe $15,000 per treatment course.
Wow.
And crucially, because we're still gathering that long-term data, it's very rarely covered by standard insurance yet. That's a major factor listeners need to consider.
That's vital context. Okay, now, another regenerative approach, maybe a bit less complex, uses your own body parts. Platelet-rich plasma, or PRP. We hear about this for athletes all the time.
Right, PRP is related because it also focuses on those crucial growth factors. We take a small amount of your own blood, just like a regular blood test, but then we spin it in a centrifuge to concentrate your platelets way, way down. Platelets are the cells that rush in for clotting and initial repair when you get a cut.
Ah, okay. So you're taking the body's first responders, concentrating them like crazy, and sending them in as a supercharged team right to the problem spot.
That's precisely it. We inject that concentrated plasma right near the damaged nerves. It delivers this huge dose of those healing instructions and anti-inflammatory signals exactly where they're needed most.
And how's it working for neuropathy?
It's showing really good promise, especially for what we call focal neuropathies.
No.
So nerve damage that's localized to a specific area, like carpal tunnel in the wrist or certain nerves in the foot.
Okay.
This usually involves a series of treatments, maybe 3 to 6 sessions over a few months.
So this focus on growth factors is clearly key for regeneration. And quickly, we should also mention the really cutting-edge stuff, right? Nerve growth factor treatments.
Yes, absolutely. Researchers are working on using specific proteins or even gene therapy techniques to basically trick the body into naturally producing more of these healing factors internally.
So moving beyond injections altogether, potentially.
That's the long-term hope, which actually brings us perfectly to Section 2, neuromodulation. If regenerative medicine is rebuilding the structure, think of neuromodulation as fixing the electrical wiring.
Okay, I like that.
We're using sophisticated technology to alter how those nerves are sending signals, rather than just trying to suppress everything with chemicals.
Let's talk about advanced spinal cord stimulation, SCS.
Okay.
A lot of people might remember the older devices, the ones that caused that constant buzzing or tingling, paresthesia, right?
That's the term, yes. And those older systems were pretty clumsy, honestly. They basically tried to mask the pain by creating a different, hopefully less annoying sensation.
Right, didn't always work out that way.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But the new systems are vastly superior. The huge breakthrough is in the patterns of stimulation. New high-frequency stimulation, or what's called burst stimulation patterns, can provide really profound pain relief without that buzzing sensation at all.
That sounds like a massive quality of life improvement right there.
It truly is. And some of the modern devices even have what's called closed-loop technology. Meaning they actually sense your body position and automatically adjust the stimulation strength as you move, sit, or lie down.
Wow, so it's personalized, adapting treatment built right in?
Exactly. Making sure you get the right level of stimulation no matter what you're doing.
Okay, so SES is like treating the signals on the main highway, the spinal cord. What if the pain is really localized, say just in your feet? Can you target the specific on-ramp where that signal starts?
Excellent analogy.
Yeah.
And that is precisely what dorsal root ganglion, or DRG, stimulation does. The dorsal root ganglion, it's this little cluster of nerve cells right near the spine that acts as a specific relay station for pain signals coming from certain areas, like the feet or lower legs. So by targeting this specific nerve junction box, DRG stimulation is much more precise than traditional SCS.
More focused?
Exactly. And this focused approach is proving incredibly effective, especially for tough-to-treat foot and lower leg neuropathy. We're seeing success rates climb above 70% in carefully selected patients.
70% is huge for chronic pain.
It really is.
And moving even more locally, we have peripheral nerve stimulation, or PNS. This sounds like getting right down to the individual street level.
It's the most targeted approach, yes. PNS uses tiny, often wireless electrodes placed directly on or very near the affected peripheral nerves themselves, the ones out in your arms or legs.
Right on the spot.
Right on the spot.
Mm.
This gives very targeted relief exactly where the pain signal is starting, sort of bypassing the central nervous system entirely for that specific nerve.
What's the patient experience like with these implanted devices? SCS, DRG, PNS, is it major surgery, a long downtime?
Well, the good news is all these neuromodulation devices involve a trial phase first.
Try before you buy, basically.
Kind of. It's usually done with a temporary wire or injection to see if the technology actually helps your specific pain. If it works well,
then you go for the permanent one.
Right. And the permanent implantation is usually an outpatient procedure. There's still a recovery period, maybe a few weeks, but it's generally much less intense than major surgery.
Oh.
And what's really fascinating is that some of the newer PNS systems are designed to be temporary.
Temporary? How does that work?
They're implanted for maybe just 60 days. But the nerve retraining they provide during that time can often lead to lasting pain relief that continues long after the device is actually removed.
So it teaches the nerve to behave differently.
That seems to be the idea, yes. Resetting the signaling.
Okay, before we leave this rewiring section, we have to touch on transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. This sounds like the least invasive of the bunch, stimulating the brain itself.
TMS is completely non-invasive, yeah. It uses focused magnetic fields generated from outside the head to gently stimulate specific areas of the brain that are involved in processing pain signals.
So you just sit there.
Pretty much. You sit in a chair, the machine does the work. Studies are showing that a series of daily sessions, maybe over several weeks, can actually disrupt the brain's chronic pain pathways.
And the effect lasts.
It leads to measurable reductions in neuropathic pain and definite improvements in quality of life that often last for several months after the treatment course finishes.
Okay, that covers the physical rebuilding regenerative and the electrical rewiring neuromodulation. Powerful stuff. Now, section 3, because let's face it, pills are still part of the picture for many,
They are.
but they're getting fundamentally smarter.
Absolutely. We're moving light years beyond that old sledgehammer approach of the traditional drugs. The focus now is hyperspecificity, meaning targeting the exact biochemical mistake, the specific molecular glitch that's causing the nerve to fire off pain signals when it shouldn't be.
Tell us about these selective sodium channel blockers. What specific mistake are they fixing?
Okay, so nerve pain, down at the cellular level, is often caused by certain types of sodium channels in the nerve membrane just firing spontaneously, even without a real trigger, like touch or heat.
Like a faulty car alarm that just goes off randomly?
Exactly like that, just starts screaming to no reason. Now, the older drugs, they blocked pretty much all sodium channels everywhere in the body.
Which led to?
Widespread side effects,
Yeah.
dizziness, fatigue, that cognitive haze we talked about. Because you need sodium channels for normal nerve function too.
Right.
The new selective sodium channel blockers are designed to target only the specific subtype of channel, like NaV1 1.7 or 1.8, that is primarily responsible for generating that neuropathic pain signal.
Ah, much more precise.
Much more. The promise is profound, reducing the pain by silencing only those rogue signals without dampening the entire nervous system. So hopefully avoiding those awful systemic side effects.
That sounds like the future. Are they available?
These are really the next wave of pharmaceutical pain control. Many are in late-stage clinical trials right now, so not quite on the pharmacy shelf yet, but getting closer.
Okay. And we're also seeing drugs borrowed from other fields, right? Like
Yeah.
CGRP antagonists. Started out from migraines.
Correct. CGRP is a specific protein heavily involved in pain transmission pathways. These drugs block that protein. And their advantage, just like the selective sodium channel blockers, is that high specificity. They only interrupt that particular pain pathway, minimizing unwanted off-target effects elsewhere in the body.
Makes sense. And finally, in the pharma space, let's talk about pharmaceutical-grade cannabinoid-based medicines. We need to be really clear about the distinction here.
Absolutely critical distinction. We are not talking about unregulated medical marijuana or CBD oils from the corner store.
Right.
We're talking about precisely formulated pharmaceutical drugs developed under strict controls with consistent verified dosing, like Sativex or Epidiolex.
Okay.
These specific formulations are showing real success in clinical trials for reducing chronic neuropathic pain and also, importantly, improving sleep quality, often without the significant psychoactive effects you might get from recreational or less regulated products.
So a controlled, reliable option.
Exactly. It offers a potential alternative within the medical system.
Okay, now we get to what might be the most important takeaway from this whole deep dive. The idea of the combination strategy, or multimodal protocols.
Yes, this is absolutely key.
Mm-hmm.
Because we now understand that complex chronic conditions like neuropathy rarely respond fully to just one single treatment. There's usually no single magic bullet.
Right.
The best outcomes, consistently, are achieved when we use an integrated approach, one that treats the whole person, not just the nerve endings.
So what does that actually look like in practice?
What typically involves combining several different tools, often at lower dosages, to minimize the side effects of each one.
Okay, give me an example.
For instance, you might use a low dose of one of those new selective sodium channel blockers, plus targeted physical therapy designed specifically to maintain nerve function and mobility,
Okay.
plus psychological support, like cognitive behavioral therapy, for crucial pain coping skills and addressing the emotional toll.
Right, which is huge.
Absolutely. And maybe plus an interventional procedure like DRG stimulation if it's appropriate for that specific patient's pain pattern.
So layering different approaches.
Exactly. The treatments synergize They work better together than they ever could alone.
Hmm.
And the studies on this are really encouraging. We're seeing that 60, even 70% of patients achieve meaningful, lasting improvement with this kind of comprehensive, integrated strategy.
60 to 70% again. That's a recurring theme with these newer approaches. It's treating the disease from multiple angles at once.
Precisely.
And finally, let's quickly talk about technology that's making this integrated approach more possible at home. We're definitely past those clunky old battery-powered 10S units from the 80s, right?
Oh, miles past that. We're seeing a real revolution in home-use devices now. Advanced 10NS units today often use more sophisticated technology, like NMES neuromuscular electrical stimulation. They're essentially bringing hospital-grade nerve stimulation therapy right into your living room.
The convenience factor must be huge for actually sticking with it.
It's a total game changer. The ability to use targeted, high-quality therapy daily consistently dramatically improves compliance. And we know that daily use is directly linked to better, more sustained pain relief and functional improvement.
Makes sense.
And we're also seeing other tech emerge, like virtual reality systems being used for pain management through distraction and cognitive techniques, and even app-based programs that help you meticulously track your symptoms and provide personalized guidance for sticking to your multimodal protocol.
Okay. This is all incredibly helpful. But if you, our listener, are sitting there thinking, okay, I'm ready, I want to explore these new options, where do you actually start? What are the first practical steps?
First step, absolutely crucial. Get a comprehensive and accurate diagnosis.
Know exactly what's wrong.
Exactly, because different treatments work best for different types and causes of nerve damage. Is it diabetic neuropathy? Chemo-induced? Idiopathic? Is it large fiber, small fiber? You need to know precisely which nerve pathways are malfunctioning before you can choose the right repair crew, so to speak.
Good point.
Next, you probably need to look beyond your regular primary care doctor, unfortunately. Seek out specialized pain centers, neurology clinics, or academic medical centers. These are the places most likely to be running clinical trials or already using these newer treatments before they become standard practice everywhere.
Any resources for finding those?
ClinicalTrials.gov is an excellent public website run by the NIH. You can search for studies on neuropathy treatments that might be recruiting in your area.
Okay, ClinicalTrials.gov. Got it. Now, the elephant in the room, insurance coverage for these newer, sometimes expensive technologies.
Yeah, that's the tough part. You need to be prepared. Many of the newest procedures, especially regenerative therapies and some neuromodulation, are still not standardly covered by many insurance plans.
So potential out-of-pocket costs.
Potentially significant ones, yes. However, and this is really important, documentation is your absolute greatest ally here.
Keep detailed, meticulous records. Write down every single traditional treatment you have tried, every medication, every therapy, and exactly how you responded or didn't respond. Note the side effects.
Build your case, essentially.
Precisely. Having strong documentation showing that you failed multiple standard treatments can often be the leverage you need to argue for, and sometimes gain insurance approval for these newer, innovative procedures. It shows medical necessity.
That record-keeping advice is gold, thank you. And I want to close with something really critical, a finding that applies to everyone listening, no matter where they are on their neuropathy journey: the importance of early intervention.
Yes, this is so important.
The research is absolutely crystal clear on this. Intervening earlier leads to significantly better long-term outcomes. Why is that?
It's because nerves that are maybe just mildly damaged, nerves that are struggling but still functioning, as researchers say, they have far more capacity for genuine recovery and repair.
And nerves that have completely failed or died back? Exactly. The nerves that have become severely damaged or atrophied over years of dysfunction, there's just more potential to work with earlier on.
So the message is, if you're just experiencing mild tingling or maybe numbness that comes and goes,
You don't wait. Don't wait for the pain to become constant, severe, and debilitating before seeking specialized help. The goal now has fundamentally shifted. It's not just reacting to severe pain anymore. It's about preventing the loss of function and the progression of the disease in the first place.
Okay, so to wrap this up, the field of neuropathy treatment is moving incredibly fast. We're really shifting beyond that old paradigm of just masking symptoms.
We are. Actual nerve repair, sophisticated signal correction. These aren't science fiction anymore. They are becoming a reality.
The range of options available today, these regenerative therapies, precision neuromodulation, highly targeted medications, the combination strategies, it far, far exceeds what existed even 5 years ago.
It really does. So the question we want to leave you with today is this. Please, Do not accept that your current level of pain or limited function is the best you can possibly achieve.
Keep pushing.
Stay engaged with your healthcare team. Push for that comprehensive diagnosis we talked about. Seek out these specialized centers and protocols, because what might seem experimental today could very well be the standard of care tomorrow, and it might hold the key to your long-term relief.
Before you go, I need to share something important with you. Listen, I know you're exhausted, not just from the pain, but from the searching, the hoping, the disappointment. You just want your life back. We get that because we hear it every day from people just like you. Look, I know many of you are here because you're dealing with pain that just won't go away. And if you're one of the millions struggling with neuropathy, you know exactly what I mean. The burning that keeps you up at night, the tingling that makes every step uncertain, the frustration of trying cream after cream, pill after pill with nothing really working. And here's what most people don't understand. Neuropathy happens when the nerves in your feet get damaged. They can't send the right signals to your brain anymore. Those pain signals you're feeling, they're basically your nerves crying for help. The good news is simple. With the right stimulation, those nerves can actually start working right again. We've helped over 50,000 people get their nerves working again using this exact method. And that's why we created NeuroGo. Not just another device, but a complete support system with our Facebook community, diet program, exercise guides, free books, and real people who answer your questions. When other treatments have let you down, NeuroGo delivers the solution you've been searching for, so you can stop managing pain and start living again. You don't have to accept this pain as your new normal. Get 40% off yours today with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Click the link below. You have nothing to lose but the pain.